The distress beacon had been broadcasting for 6 hours before anyone noticed. That wasn't unusual. The sector of space it came from was marked in every galactic navigation chart with the same warning: Quarantine Zone, Class 12 Deathworld, do not approach. What was unusual was that the beacon was Vakarian, and the Vakarians never made mistakes. Chief Medical Officer Jakara of the Galactic Rescue Service stared at the holographic display, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she processed what she was seeing. The distress signal was coming from inside the quarantine zone, from the surface of the Deathworld itself. "This can't be right," she said, her translator converting her clicking speech into standard galactic. "Run the scan again." Her assistant, a young Cordy named Vrix, manipulated the controls with trembling fingers. "Confirmed, Chief. The signal is from the VRS Endeavor. They were conducting atmospheric research when their containment systems failed. The ship crashed on the surface approximately 7 hours ago." "How many survivors?" 43 crew members, all Vakarian." Jakara felt her blood chill. 43 lives, 43 of the galaxy's most brilliant scientific minds stranded on a planet so hostile that merely thinking about it made most species anxious. The planet's designation was Earth 572, but everyone who worked in rescue knew its real name, the Hell World. Gravity 3 times galactic standard, atmospheric oxygen levels that would ignite most organic compounds, temperature swings of 70 degrees between day and night. Predators evolved in an arms race so vicious that even the plants had developed chemical warfare, and that's just what the probes had detected before the planet was sealed off forever. "We have to mount a rescue," Rick said, his voice high with stress. "The Vakarians are our most important allies. If we don't—" "We can't," Jakara interrupted. "Our shuttles can't handle that gravity. Our suits can't filter that atmosphere. And even if we could land, we'd be dead within hours from the local bacteria, the predators, or the environment itself." She sagged in her chair. "We'd be sending rescue teams to their deaths." "Then what do we do?" Jakara was quiet for a long moment. Then she made a decision that would either save 43 lives or haunt her forever. "Send a message to the Terran embassy. Tell them we need a human." Marcus Chen was 3 beers into his shore leave when his comm unit started screaming. He glanced at it, saw the Galactic Rescue Service emergency code, and seriously considered throwing the device out the airlock. "I'm off duty," he muttered to the empty room of his quarters on board the human transport ship Wanderer. "Completely, totally, absolutely off." The comm unit didn't care. It kept screaming. With a sigh that came from the depths of his soul, Marcus picked it up. "Chen here. This better be important because I was about to start beer number 4. The face that appeared on his screen was unfamiliar, some kind of insectoid species with too many eyes. "Mr. Chen, I am Chief Medical Officer Jakara of the Galactic Rescue Service. We have an emergency situation that requires immediate human assistance." Marcus sat up straighter. "What kind of situation?" "A rescue mission. 43 Vakarian scientists stranded on a Class 12 Deathworld. We need someone to go down and extract them." There was a long pause. "You want me," he said slowly, "to go down to a planet so dangerous that the entire galaxy put a quarantine around it, pick up 43 aliens, and bring them back?" "Yes." "And you're asking me because—" Jakara's expression, as much as Marcus could read on an alien face, was somewhere between desperate and embarrassed. "Because humans are from a Class 12 Deathworld. You're the only species crazy enough to survive it. In fact," she hesitated, "the planet in question is remarkably similar to your homeworld. We've designated it Earth 572. Marcus felt a grin spreading across his face. "You're telling me you've got a bunch of aliens stranded on a planet that's basically Earth, and you need a human to go get them because you can't handle it?" "That is an accurate, if somewhat reductive summary, yes." "I'm in. Send me the coordinates." 20 hours later, Marcus stood in the cargo bay of his small personal shuttle, double-checking his gear. The Galactic Rescue Service had offered him their best equipment: environment suits rated for extreme conditions, weapons designed to stop charging megafauna, medical supplies that could treat a dozen different species. He'd turned most of them down. Instead, Marcus wore a simple tactical vest over his standard EVA suit modified for higher gravity. His weapons were human-made: a rifle, a sidearm, and a very well-used machete. His medical kit was basic. His food was a week's worth of ration bars and a water filtration system. "Mr. Chen," Shakara's voice came through his comm, "we're approaching the planet. I must warn you, the conditions on the surface are extreme." "Yeah, I read the briefing. High gravity, toxic atmosphere, aggressive fauna. Sounds like a camping trip in Australia." "I don't understand that reference." "You will." Marcus secured the last of his gear and moved to the pilot's seat. "Entering atmosphere in 30 seconds. Wish me luck." "We're monitoring from orbit. If you need anything..." "You'll be completely useless because you can't survive down there." "I know. That's why I'm getting the big bucks for this." He grinned at the screen. "See you in a few hours." The shuttle hit atmosphere like a brick hitting water. Marcus felt the G's pressing him into his seat as the craft shuddered and bucked. Around him, warning lights flashed. High heat, turbulence, atmospheric pressure. Things that would terrify most species. To Marcus, it felt like coming home. The planet was beautiful in a deadly way. Marcus set the shuttle down in a clearing near the crash site, watching through his viewport as something large and scaled disappeared into the jungle. The crashed Vakarian ship was about 2 kilometers away, its hull split open like a cracked egg. He stepped out onto alien soil and immediately felt the gravity trying to drag him down. 3 times Earth standard. Manageable, but it would tire him faster. The air was thick and humid, filled with the sounds of things chirping, howling, and screaming in the distance. Marcus took a deep breath through his suit's filters and started walking. The jungle was a nightmare. Vines hung like snares, some of them moving with unsettling intelligence. The ground was soft and treacherous, hiding pools of stagnant water that bubbled ominously. And every few minutes, Marcus would hear something large moving through the undergrowth, tracking him. He'd covered maybe half a kilometer when it attacked. The creature exploded from the trees to his left, 6 legs, armored hide, jaws that could bite a shuttle in half. It was fast, brutal, and completely confident that Marcus was prey. It learned otherwise when Marcus dropped to one knee, raised his rifle, and put 3 rounds through its skull in less than 2 seconds. The creature crashed to the ground 5 meters away, twitched once, and went still. Marcus stood, checked his rifle, and kept walking. Behind him, smaller scavengers were already descending on the corpse. The jungle didn't waste anything. He found the Vakarians huddled in what was left of their ship's command center. They were elegant beings, tall with luminous skin that pulsed with bioluminescence. But right now, they looked terrified. Their suits were designed for sterile laboratory environments, not hostile jungles. Several were injured. All of them looked like they'd given up hope. Marcus stepped through the torn hull, and 43 alien faces turned towards him in shock. "Afternoon," he said cheerfully. "I'm Marcus Chen, human. I'm here to take you home." The Vakarian captain, a female whose name tag read Shalara, stared at him like he'd just appeared out of nowhere. "Human? But how did you get here? Where's your support team, your equipment?" Marcus gestured to himself. "You're looking at it. 1 human, 1 shuttle, and a very angry jungle. We need to move fast because I shot something on the way here, and the smell of blood is going to attract every predator in a 5-kilometer radius." "We can't move," Shalara said desperately. 6 of our crew are badly injured. The gravity alone is crushing us. And the local fauna, we've watched 3 separate hunting packs circle this crash site. They're waiting for us to leave the ship. Marcus surveyed the group. She was right. Half of them looked like they could barely stand under the gravity. Moving them 2 kilometers through hostile jungle would be impossible. Unless... "Okay, new plan," Marcus said. "How much does your ship weigh?" "Our ship?" Shalara blinked. Approximately 80 tons. Why?" "Because I'm going to drag it to my shuttle." The entire crew stared at him. "That's impossible," one of the scientists said, "even with mechanical assistance." "I'm from a Class 12 Deathworld," Marcus interrupted. "My bones are twice as dense as yours, my muscles are designed for 3 times gravity, and I'm stubborn as hell." He looked at Shalara. "Do you have any working cable, tow lines, anything I can use?" 20 minutes later, Marcus had rigged a harness system that would make any engineer proud. The Vakarians watched in stunned silence as Marcus secured cables from their wrecked ship to his own chest harness, tested the weight distribution, and started pulling. The ship groaned, metal screamed, and slowly, impossibly, the 80-ton wreck began to move through jungle. "This is insane,"